Have you ever wondered if it's legal to sell fan art of characters you love? After all, creating fan art is a common practice among artists, and many even make a profit from it. But is it allowed, or are you taking a risk? In this video, we'll clarify the legal issues involved in selling fan art, explain what might happen if you violate intellectual property rights, and how you can possibly monetize your creations safely. Let's dive into the world of fan art and the potential risks it brings. By the way, if you're tired of drawing and feeling like nothing is improving, pay attention. Marc Brunet's art school for digital artists was what pulled my drawings out of stagnation and gave me an insane boost. It's like going through an art school, but for a fraction of the price and only with what really matters: perspective, anatomy, color, composition, and much more, all explained step by step, from beginner to advanced. It is, by far, the best and most complete art course on the market. Don't waste time stuck at the same level. The link's in the description. Check it out now. Let's get back to the video. Fan art, a gray area between passion and law. First, let's understand what fan art is from a legal perspective. When you create an illustration of a famous character, you're using intellectual property that belongs to someone else. It could be a movie hero, an anime character, or even a creature from a popular game. But the fact is that these characters belong to companies or creators who hold legal rights over them. In other words, if you draw Naruto, that character still belongs to the publisher of the manga. This gray area exists because, on one side, there's the fans' passion, expressing love for their favorite franchises. On the other, there are companies and creators with copyright interests who wish to control and protect their creations. After all, they invested time, money, and creativity in these characters, so it's natural for them to want to protect their commercial value. So the first thing you need to know is that, technically, creating fan art without permission from the copyright owner is a copyright infringement. This brings us to the next point. What are the real risks of selling fan art? Selling fan art, the legal risks. When it comes to copyright, the main problem arises when the artist starts profiting from the fan art. Selling fan art can legally be seen as a way of commercially exploiting someone else's intellectual property without permission. This is where the risk increases because we're talking about commercial use. Some companies are more tolerant and even encourage fans to create and share their art online, as long as it's non-commercial. But the situation changes when money is involved. Some companies, like Disney, are known for strictly protecting their characters and brands. Others, like Nintendo, also have a strict policy against unauthorized commercial use of their characters. The consequences can vary. In extreme cases, the rights holder may take legal action against the artist, demanding they stop selling the products or even seeking damages. However, the more common action is to send a cease and desist letter, demanding the artist stop selling the fan art. And yes, this might seem scary, but it's a relatively common measure in the market. So keep in mind that selling fan art always involves this risk, especially when the character belongs to a large company that takes copyright protection seriously. So you may be wondering, is there a way to legally sell fan art? How to legally sell fan art? The exceptions. The good news is that, yes, there are ways to sell fan art legally. Some of the most common options involve obtaining a license or permission from the company that owns the character's rights. Let's discuss some of these alternatives. Commercial licenses. Some companies offer licenses to sell fan art products. This license may be permission to create and sell specific products featuring a character or franchise. Of course, obtaining a license can be difficult and expensive, especially for independent artists. However, some artists successfully negotiate these licenses and sell their products without issues. Events and conventions. At events like Comic Cons and comic book fairs, many companies allow fan art sales without a license, but only within the event. This type of sale is often seen as a tolerated exception because it occurs in a limited setting and for a short time. So, if you're thinking of selling fan art, a good tip is to start with fan conventions and events. Partnered platforms. There are also print-on-demand platforms with partnerships with studios and rights holders like Redbubble and TeePublic. These platforms often have agreements with companies, allowing artists to sell licensed fan art and share a portion of profits with the copyright holder. While these platforms may take a larger cut, it's a way to ensure the legality of your sales. What many artists end up doing is keeping sales on a personal and discreet level. While selling fan art always involves some risk, many independent artists manage to do so without attracting much attention by selling on a small scale and avoiding excessive promotion of their products. But remember, this is not a guarantee of protection. Those who do this are taking on a risk. Fan art as a portfolio and indirect income. Another smart way to use fan art is as a portfolio to attract clients. Creating fan art and sharing it on social media platforms like Instagram and Twitter without directly selling the products is a great way to showcase your skills. Many artists use this approach to gain visibility and attract clients who hire them for original characters or book illustrations, for instance. Additionally, some artists choose to earn indirectly through fan art, using platforms like Patreon and Ko-fi. On these platforms, fans can support the artist with donations without directly purchasing fan art. This way, the artist can continue creating fan art while supporters get exclusive content access without infringing on copyright, as there is no direct sale of fan art products. The importance of creating original characters. If you're truly interested in selling your artwork without taking any risks, it's worth investing in creating your own characters. Creating original characters not only eliminates any copyright concerns, but also allows you to build your own universe, something fans genuinely appreciate. Creating original characters is a challenging but rewarding path. In addition to having full control over your creations, you can stand out in the market with something unique, without worrying about possible legal action. So, before deciding to sell fan art, carefully consider the risks and alternatives presented here. And remember, creating art is about freedom, but it's also about responsibility. Having a legal and ethical foundation for your sales is essential for sustainable growth in the art market. If this video helped you, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next ones. Thanks a lot for watching, and don't forget to check the description. There are several important links that can help you even more. See you in the next video.